We arrest kids every day with ankle monitors. They don't do anything. This kid is a prolific offender. He's going to reoffend again. He's already been on social media bragging about it. And the fact is that we're doing him a disservice. This judge is setting this kid up for failure. He's going to go out and commit more crimes. He's going to be an adult soon. He's going to end up in the Fulton County Jail, and his crimes are going to become more serious. He's already been arrested with a gun. He was in a car with 3 other individuals. They had 3 guns in that car, and that case was dead docketed by the juvenile court last year. So what is juvenile court doing with these repeat offenders, right? What is juvenile court doing with these serious offenders? Nothing. They're just setting them up for failure, and they're committing crimes all over the city. So what are we supposed to do? We're doing our jobs. We're locking them up. Nothing happens to them.
You made a really good point. That was actually my next question, because you were just talking about how this cycle is going to continue because he's being released to a sister. It doesn't really sound like there's any type of authority figure in it. And right now, while he's still a juvenile, he's got 2 years left. But then, if he continues this, he's going to end up in prison. So, what is kind of your frustration with these juveniles and kind of the lack of rehabilitation that is not being provided when you just re-release them?
Right, well, so he's got less than 2 years because he's almost an adult, right? So he's gone through his whole juvenile career just committing crimes where nothing happens to him, right? Nobody has come in to redirect his life. Now you have juvenile justice reform where they say, hey, we don't want to hold these kids, but there are some kids that are extremely violent. They commit multiple crimes, and nobody's coming in to redirect them. They go through the court system, and nothing happens. If you do that, you're just setting a kid up for failure because you're telling them that what you're doing is not a big deal. We're telling them it's a big deal. We're chasing them, we're capturing them, we're locking them up, and then the judges and the juvenile court lets them go. So he's getting these mixed messages, and nobody's telling him that what he's doing is wrong. So again, that's how you're setting him up for failure, because his crimes are going to get worse. They're going to become more violent, which is what we see every day. He's going to end up in the adult system, or he's going to end up killed.
What was he saying on social media?
So he was bragging that he got out again. He's bragging that the only thing he has is an ankle monitor, which we all know is pretty much useless because nobody monitors it. And we catch kids all the time with ankle monitors on after hours in the wrong parts of the city. So, each judge has to justify their decisions. I don't know how you can justify this decision.
Can we talk a little bit about, is this the first time that you guys have experienced something like this? Why is this now kind of frustration building?
Well, I don't know if this is a tipping point, but we've had this before. I've been doing this for 26 years, and for 26 years they've been letting out repeat offender juveniles back to the same environment that they came from with no direction from juvenile court. So no, this isn't new, but we just thought that we would highlight it to let everyone know maybe why crimes in certain parts of the city are up. We know larcenies in Buckhead and larcenies downtown and on the east side of the city are up right now. And the fact is we're capturing these kids and they just get back out.
And you kind of made it a good point, because I was reading some of these incident offense reports, and it was car break-ins, it was theft. How else do you guys know to combat this if kids are being let back out?
Yeah, it's a challenge. This particular kid is a documented gang member. So we know he works with a crew of other individuals, and they go throughout the city committing auto thefts, auto larcenies, and slider crimes. So all we can do is what we do best, which is lock them up and put them in jail. Listen, at the Atlanta Police Department, we know that people deserve second and third chances. Just look at the At Promise Youth Center on the west side of the city. We deal with young people all the time and try to redirect them. But there are some individuals and some young people that have to be held. They have to be incarcerated because they're just committing too many crimes, and there's nobody else in their life trying to redirect them. This is one of those individuals, and the judge did nothing for him.
Another question. Hang on. Oh, do you think that this is a situation where there are resources there to rehabilitate him, but instead they're just letting him out? Or do you think maybe the judge is kind of, is there an overcrowding issue? Is there an issue with what to do with them, or do you think this is just a bad call? Because that's two kind of completely different things. What do you think is the root of this issue?
So, if this hasn't been happening for 26 years, then maybe you could say it was a bad call, but I've seen this for decades. And so it just has to be just a systemic problem within juvenile justice that they just continue to let these kids go. You'll have to talk to them because I can't justify it.